We live?
I'm looking. Uh-oh. I don't know if
We
we are.
live.
Are we? Can you see it on yours?
It says live
Yep.
on mine.
Okay, good. Oh, yep, people are here. Hello, everybody. Hello, Barbarian Kung Fu, DK Comics and Cosplay, Need Mode. Thanks for joining us. There we go. Okay, just making sure.
Let me get on this chat so I can see who's all in here.
We got some ka-chung.
Let's see.
Give it a few minutes. How's everybody been? You guys had a good weekend?
Oh, yeah. I went to the lake
Been
this
great.
weekend.
I haven't been to the lake in a long time. I work too much now.
You can tell that I got a little color. You know what I'm saying? A little darker.
Hey, Perry Comics. All I do is I get more freckles, and hopefully one day they'll all connect, and then I'll get a tan.
Okay, I'm on the chat. I can see everybody. All right, cool. But yeah, this weekend was good. A lot of reading, a lot of sunlight. I feel like Tank had the better weekend, though.
He did have a good weekend.
I did. I had a pretty solid weekend.
Hey, Comics for All People. Hello. All
I
right.
got to meet up with the writer of Kanto,
I still haven't read that
My
book.
new-
I guess I need to read it because
my new favorite book out. I got to meet with him yesterday.
That's
And
pretty hype.
got a couple things signed and got to talk to him and express my gratitude for his piece of work that he put out.
so you fanboyed out. of him?
But yeah, a little bit. But I mean, we're here to talk about this thing right here. What an insane episode this week, man. This week was insane. Hello to everyone in the chat. First and foremost, thank you for joining us. We're on episode 5 of Into the Swamp, and we had a killer of an episode this week. What did you guys
Yeah.
say?
Oh my god.
Probably my favorite one, I think.
Yeah, best episode in my opinion. Oh my gosh, this episode. It was literally coming out the gate. I was grabbing my boyfriend's leg the whole time. Like there's just so many moments, so many jump scares, so many times where she clearly shouldn't have done what I told her not to do, but she did it anyway. It was a great episode.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to say, hey guys, I got a special treat for you. I'm going to splice in a video of our favorite co-host screaming, but he told me he couldn't get it together fast enough. It would have been awesome, but maybe next time we'll get the video of you watching it.
I mean, I'm gonna be in Anaheim like at the end of this week, so maybe on Monday I can just sit there and watch it with Tank live. Oh man, we should save it for that. It'll be better then.
Yeah. All right. So started off, guys. Little Susie. I mean, I think I called it. I said I think she's gonna get adopted to become a host. And for a little bit there she was. But the one thing I want to talk about is our good friend over here, Mr. Oblivion Bar, said, I don't know if she's going to be able to handle the acting chops that came to being... I thought she did a killer job. I mean, okay, she wasn't Leo DiCaprio, but I think it held up. I think she did a really good job.
Bro, like, okay, I can admit when I'm wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. This little girl, she did her thing. When it came down to being the scariest, most possessed, ooga booga filled, child of the corn kind of person, she did it. She did it. But that split second where she goes from being possessed Shauna back to normal Susie, it ended for me. Like, she still doesn't play a normal girl well at all. Like, she doesn't have the acting to do normal girl, but can she play a possessed little girl that needs some holy water doused on her? Yes, she can do that very well.
Just simply this part right here.
Oh yeah, watch this.
So good. That
There it is.
smile, man.
That smile. That smile.
Oh, yeah, no, I would have. The second I had seen a little girl come up out of my bathtub like that, one, smacked her in the back of the head for running up my water bill, and then two, like, I would have just pushed her head back in the water, like, she's already gone, she's already a zombie, I can't do anything to help her. What is she supposed to do? What is she supposed to do at that point? Like, come here, baby. let me let you just infect me with the Ooga Boogas next. And what happened later? She tried to drown her in a lake or in the swamp. She should have pushed her head back down in the tub instead of messing with her, and she would have ended up almost dying. So
you know what the craziest thing was later on. I mean, you're gonna see it behind me when Abby comes to the house because she gets a call from Susie, and then when she comes in, Mrs. Sunderland. All hail Mrs. Sunderland. She's talking to Abby, but talking about she's talking about it like Shauna's doing it, but Abby thinks that she's talking about Susie. That part was, I think they played that off really well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she played that part very well. Also, I mean, do you think it's because Abby is so intellectual that she just could not believe that, Susie was exactly who she said she was, that she was Shauna? I mean, I felt like that went on for too long for me. I was like, she should just know there's something up. This is not Susie being put up to something by Miss Sunderland. Like, Susie wouldn't do that, for one. She's too sweet of a girl. Like,
Well, I think there wasn't enough concrete stuff for her to fall back on until she called her YB.
Hey, hold on. She walks around the swamp with a swamp thing. We're beyond not believing in ghosts at this point, I think. I think you can probably believe there's ghosts going on. He's walking hand in hand with the guy who's like a walking swamp rogue.
Look. A scientifically explained chemical reaction and the afterlife are two completely different things.
I'm sorry, Tank. I don't see your point. She should have known. I would have known. If I was in that situation, I would have walked my butt right back out of that room.
Until she called her YB, like, and then when she called her YB, she was like, wait. Like, this got a little too real. And then obviously when she's shown herself and then she was like spewing that black fluid, like, you know what I really liked is when she opened the curtains and it looked like Shauna drowning in the swamp, like outside of the window. That was pretty cool.
Okay.
But, I think we can get back to it. There were plenty of Susie and Shauna scares, but what about your guy, Mr. G? Avery Sunderland, man. This guy's a Mac.
Oh, man. That guy in the hotel room, you see him get that look? He was like, what? What's got into you?
I completely forgot that people still have sex with their bras on. I forgot that was even a thing.
Beyond that, though, it did kind of lay groundwork. It kind of makes me think that maybe like those two are the couple, and he married old girl back at the mansion for just for their money, because it seems like they have an understanding. They know what the deal is, but
they started talking about a ring too, right?
Yeah. So it feels like those two are the ones that like were childhood sweethearts, and he just went and married her for the money. That's what it seems like, anyway. Because Sheriff ain't above getting dirty, obviously. So she put in some work if it's needed.
Yeah.
Unless she's in on it.
Hey, but one thing I want to say before we switch off the Ghost Girl, what kind of crazy shit? Who puts even if you didn't go to the voodoo lady to bring your girl back, who puts the new girl in your dead girl's bedroom. You got a mansion. That's probably like 20 bedrooms, and you're gonna put her back in your dead daughter's room? That's weird. That's like, I don't even believe in ghosts, but damn, you kind of ask for a ghost to show up at that point. Like, that's a weird thing to do.
Well, clearly Miss Sunderland is completely off her rocker. I mean, one, at the beginning when she's on the phone with Avery and she's looking up at the ceiling fan because she can hear noises happening up there and everything. I was like, you know that little bitty old girl ain't making all that ruckus. You know it's the Ooga Boogas. So why you even tripping? Like, why even playing like this is a normal thing? Why are you gonna go check it out? Anyway, yeah. You brought up Madame Xanadu. I am still not in love with her character.
No, I'm not either. The more I see of her, the more I do not like her character.
And part of the reason is, again, I'm still clinging to the comic books a little bit, but I just feel like Madame Xanadu is a little more, I don't know, resilient. She's a little more put together, and this lady doesn't seem like she has it together. She doesn't seem like she really, I don't know, she just doesn't seem like she really is pushing things forward in a controlled manner. Like, oh, it was an accident kind of thing, and I shouldn't have done it, but I did it anyway. Like, if you knew you shouldn't have done it, then why'd you do it? Like, I don't think, am I wrong? Like, Miss Sunderland didn't force her to bring her daughter back or anything. I don't know. Just seemed weird to me.
I mean, I think I like her. I guess it's just like you were saying. It's weird because they're making her out like she's kind of like she's powerful enough to bring back somebody back from the dead. She's powerful enough to. My man in the background here, Tank over his shoulder, the guy who steals every episode he's in right there. Enough to know what's going on with him and getting him through this, but then she's kind of like, all shucks when stuff goes wrong. It's like, I don't know. You got to be more, to me, you got to be more either mysterious or insightful, not like, oh, shucks, I didn't know it was going to go that way. It was kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah. But
well, we found out that Homeboy is he's possessed by Mr. Blue Devil, and I think we're gonna see that really take into effect coming up in the next few episodes.
No, you're not. You're not. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna see it. It's gonna be that. It's gonna be that 1 second.
No, I know. There's no way. He just got hit in the back of the head with a goddamn crowbar. Like, something's got to give. There's got to be a power to save his ass, and that's what's gonna happen.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
YouTube. You don't fast forward right there.
I got the room till 12.
They checked in at 11:55, and when they were done.
Yeah, she had some good one-liners in that. She was like, I think our prior agreement is what makes this super simple. Just keep it quick or something like that. I was like, damn.
Okay, so the dude who's in the boat playing the radio, talking to Swamp Thing, is that important or is that just some?
Me. I totally picked up on who that was. Like, dude, that's the freaking Phantom Stranger.
Is that who that is? I was wondering,
Yes.
but it seemed like that was way too slick how they put that in there.
Because he said something to the effect of, I'm a passing stranger, a phantom from a dream or something like that. And I was like, that's the freaking Phantom Stranger. I was like, I've never seen him in live action or anything. And I thought that was cool. I'm a big, like, when it comes
he did such a cool job, man. That guy killed the rule when he was like, when Swamp Thing was like, you're not afraid of me, and he was like, why, are you something I should be afraid of?
Because I thought that might be him, but I was like, man, they kind of did it like obvious, but also kind of slick. So I was like, maybe I'm just reading too much into it. So I'm glad I wasn't the only one who thought that's what that was.
Yeah, the one thing I geeked out about in this episode was the green. They finally got to show you what the green is capable of and how it connects with the Swamp Thing. I thought that was a cool part. Another one of the scenes that like happened early on, actually right after this, I believe, was when he was craving turtle soup.
What was that?
Turtle soup.
What kind of accent was that supposed to be?
Yeah, man, that's that Creole accent. He was like,
Creole, my
I
ass.
had a
I never heard that
hankering for
before.
turtle soup. and he's over there gutting a turtle. But I mean, look, Mr. G, you were telling me when we were talking that the one problem you had with this episode was the whole parking lot scene where Liz gets attacked by two of what we're assuming are Sunderland's guys, and she beats the crap out of one of them. Now, look, you saw how she responded to Sunderland.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem.
You know the attitude you know the attitude she has towards authority already, especially when she said something like, back in the day, this town used to be the type of town where Sunderland would snap his fingers and everyone would jump. It's not like that anymore. So you know she's not afraid. And then first and foremost, what rookie hitman leaves their weapon in the tire that you rip apart? That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. But then, hey, man, good for Liz. She kicked that guy's ass.
Hey, I didn't have a problem with her being tough or talking tough. I have a problem with he beat a man to death with a golf club, then buried him and set him on fire. He has no problem being this. He's probably been doing this for 30 years, but he can't find two guys to go beat up a chick or dude or anybody without being scared. Like, they immediately were terrified of her. And then they took the crowbar away and started beating the hell out of him.
Yo, he's already expressed he's hurting for money, so he can't spend the big dollars on like.
Okay, we'll go with that. Yeah, he can't get the good hitman.
He can't get the good hitman. He had to get a guy with a dinky old pocket knife and a rusty old crowbar. He couldn't hire the guys with the Uzis and the assault rifles. He had to he had to get what he could get. And again, he's in freaking backwater Murray. Where the hell is Murray?
Look, he's a great character in the show, but I think Mr. G, you're giving him too much credit. He's not a Corleone. He's a Sunderland. Like this,
but still, he knows people. He knew he could buy a girl. He told the scientist at the end, I got a guy. Like, he knows guys. And they didn't have a problem with beating my man in the back of the head. Maybe I'm just mad because they beat my man in the back of the head. Maybe that's why I'm bitter, because they took my man out with one blow to the back of the head.
Yeah, man, that was gruesome. Yeah, that's why something's got to give, man. I think next episode we're gonna see something.
And then they were like, "What did you do?" I was like, "What did you guys come there to do? You're stabbing tires and bringing crowbars. Would you guys come there to like, hey, better not do it again?" Like, I don't know. Anyway.
I will say I think that Liz gets the badass award this episode because, one, she stood strong in the face of Sunderland. Like, her dad was like, "I'm out here if you need me." I'm thinking she don't need him. And plus, she looks like she's 6'1" or something. Like, she's a WNBA player. That's what she looks like. And standing, she was taller than Sunderland. I was like, she's gonna stomp you in the nuts, bro. Like,
but he had the turtle soup, or turtle. He had that turtle soup.
Turtle soup. Turtle soup.
He for real wanted me to try. I mean, he kept trying to get people to eat that soup when it's been in the water for like, I don't know, 15 seconds. I don't know how good that soup was gonna be. I was like, you just threw a bunch of raw meat in there. He's like, here, taste it. Who's gonna eat your raw turtle soup?
He had a craving for turtle soup. He didn't even eat it himself. The guy was just in there. What are you doing? You're gutting a turtle to show someone you're a badass? That, like, some of these choices that Avery does are like super suspect to me. But hey, like, I mean, look, the guy, I can't. He's such a good character, man. The guy, what's his name again? Bar Oblivion, remind me.
Woodrow?
No. The guy who plays Avery.
Oh, I don't know his real name. Oh my gosh, I keep calling him the coach from Remember the Titans.
Well, the coach from Remember the Titans is doing a really good job playing this Avery Sunderland character.
Yeah, no, he's a great actor. Honestly, he might be the strongest actor in the show.
Yeah.
Like, definitely.
Overall actor, like the science guy plays a really good character actor. There's some good character actors, but just overall actor, yeah, he's probably the strongest one.
Yeah. Speaking of, with Woodrow, I liked where they were going with it this episode. I'm glad they didn't give us too much of him, but that, he had that whole interaction with Abby and, trying to figure out where all the, science junk is coming from. Like, oh, it came from a live specimen and everything. I kind of I kind of liked that they kept on with that mystery of things, even though they had the whole mess with Shauna and Susie going on and all that. I felt like they had a. I feel like that this episode had just enough going on to keep the story going forward, and I liked it. It kept me interested in what was happening now and interested in what's going to happen later.
Yeah, I think they did a good job. Tank was talking about that like episode 2, where he was hoping it wasn't going to be like Scooby-Doo style, where there was a mystery, Swamp Thing fixes it. And I think this episode and last episode did a good job, because now like I want to see the episode, like I want to see the main part, but also there's like all these little sub things that I actually want to know. Like I want to know obviously what's going on with the Blue Devil. I want to know like what the scientist is going to figure out, because now, I mean, I like how he can just barge in any room in the hospital and he's like, "Oh, I thought I had privileges. I don't know what you're talking about." Like, he just walks into the room, and like, so you have all these like little like, you know, sub things going on that I want to know about. So I think they did a really good job of kind of like I was saying, you know, stopping Tank's fear of there's just going to be like a 45-minute whodunit episode. So yeah, I like the way they did it.
Yeah, that was a big part about why I was so happy with this episode. Is this episode kind of steered away from everything they've been doing. It kind of went in its own path, and I think I give all credit to them introducing the green. I think the introduction of the green changed that whole thing. It stopped it from becoming a, hey, we have a mystery, let's go to Swamp Thing to solve it, and it showed us a little bit of like, okay, like Swamp Thing now every time like he's learning about what this green is, seeing everything that could possibly have happened in the past, present, like all the things the green has seen, he can see, and that gives us a little bit of insight, like into what Swamp Thing is dealing with himself, and also what's to come in the future by looking at what's happened in the past.
Yeah, and so speaking on the green as well, I actually really liked how they did it, because I saw in the comments, Barbarian Kung Fu, I saw that you said that it was random and thrown in that the Phantom Stranger showed up. And I think how they introduced him, like, oh, he's the Phantom Stranger, that's, I think that is a bit random. But I also thought it was pretty clever. I mean, how else were they going to introduce the green? How else were they going to introduce someone teaching Swamp Thing about the green and his powers? I guess they could have tried bringing in the Parliament of the Trees and the former avatars of the green, but that would have been way too much on the viewers, in my opinion. And I think most people didn't notice that that was the Phantom Stranger explaining that to him. And for those who did pick up, that was a nice little Easter egg. And it was like, okay, of course this guy knows about, Swamp Thing and the green and all that good stuff. Plus, I thought another really impressive part was that when they showed the flashback, it wasn't your typical TV flashback, like, 15 years ago, this happened. It was Swamp Thing Swamp Thing was being shown through the green what happened at that place. And I just thought from a producer standpoint, I thought that was really creative. It wasn't your typical flashback. It was this is a part of the story and it's actually happening right now. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely don't think everybody caught that it was the Phantom Stranger. And like you said, if they were going to go into deeper, where they were going to do the tree story and all that stuff, they would have had to take up an episode, if not 2. And try to also cram the rest of the story they're trying to get into this episode. They would have had to go through way more time to do all that. But it was cool. It was very like a Mr. Miyagi-ish moment that I really, really liked that the Phantom Stranger brought. And I love the way that scene where he was coming with the boat and singing along to his radio. Like, it was such a beautifully shot scene. So, like, I didn't mind it at all. I loved it. And his character played it very, very well. And I feel like they steered away from, like, the kind of actor you would think would play the Phantom Stranger.
Yeah.
He was more of like because I think that was the whole purpose. It's like they didn't want you to look at him and be like, that's the Phantom Stranger right there. That's it. They wanted you to pick up on the clues like you did or like I did. And, like, regardless of what he looked like, he just looks like an average dude that would be fishing in a swamp. You know what I mean? Like, it worked out really cool. And the one thing I love, like, there he is right there. And the one thing I love is the whole I mean, we're jumping ahead, and we'll obviously get to it. But when the whole swamp scene happens with Maria Sunderland and Susie and Abby, and then Swamp Thing shows up, and then she was like, he was like, I knew you were in danger. She was like, how? He was like, I saw you. You were under the bridge. She was like, that's crazy. Shauna died 14 years ago. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And then he touches the tree and then puts his hand on her back and was able to, like, put her into that past. That was one of the coolest things I've seen so far in the entire run of the show.
I was concerned about that because I was like, that's kind of it's kind of deeply messed up to make her relive that just to prove a point, like, hey, this is what I can do. I've seen this. And so I wouldn't have wanted, again, I try to self-identify with what's happening with characters in books and TV shows. So I wouldn't have wanted to relive that, but it was necessary for the show. But
you also got to think it was necessary for her, because without that, she wouldn't have known that Shauna was taken by something, and she didn't just drown.
Yeah, you're right.
I didn't think that she had put it together yet because she was younger. She hadn't seen what she's seen now. That it wasn't her being a bad friend, didn't reach out in time. Something actually snatched her and took it away, and she had to see with her eyes today to realize, oh, it wasn't just that I lost my friend. It was legitimately snatched and taken away. Yeah. So that's why I thought he showed it to her.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that part. Also, Kachung says, random guy definitely wasn't explained to the non-fan. I agree with you. I think that in the episodes to come, they definitely need to have some kind of explanation as to who he is. But the Phantom Stranger is a very big and very mysterious character in the DC universe. So I don't know how they're going to bring that back around before the show wraps up.
See, I think that they did a good job at that just because he is kind of a weird, not figuring out what he is. I mean, I've read a few books. There was like I got a DC movie bundle one time, and it had like 3 different random stories, and one was Phantom Stranger. And he was almost like a different character even in that cartoon than he was in other things I've read. So if they put him this way, we get the, oh, look at that, freak out moment. And then if they didn't actually say he's a Phantom Stranger. They didn't introduce him as anything. So if it didn't work out and they want to go a different direction later, they can, because they kind of presented him as one of the green, but everything disappeared. He could have just been, another Vision or Ghost or whatever. He didn't necessarily present him as like a real thing. So I think that was a good job the way they did it.
Yeah, for sure.
And Barbarian, my man does not need constant guidance. Get off my 90210, dude. Freaking Barbarian. He caught his hand on fire and blue flame, like, for the girl. Like, he's the hero of the show, not Swamp Thing. These people.
So I didn't see it as he's possessed by Blue Devil. I took it as he's been cursed in some way, already. Like
he like Robert Johnson. He met at the crossroad and sold his soul to the devil for a spot in Hollywood. Because he said that he didn't know it was going to go down like that, or he would have done it. So I think that's what he did. I think because he was like mumbling to himself. Oh, I just wanted a chance. I just wanted a shot. And if I had known that, so I think that's what he did. I think he probably made a deal. You get a stuff, but then you gotta pay the price. Man, I thought when he caught his arm on fire, because he didn't. One criticism. Now that we know that his arm was legitimately caught on fire and his skin burned because he was like, ow, the rest of the show. I'm not sure if he sold that well though, because I thought he could eat that blue flame. Like, I thought it wasn't a big deal. Maybe his arm would heal later. But he's in the bar, like, still all burnt up. And I was like, oh, like, he legitimately got his arm caught on fire. I was like, wow.
I mean, what would have happened if he had rammed his car through the town line? Would he have just combusted into blue flames and then maybe become Blue Devil? Or just turn into ashes? I don't know. I thought that he was going to transform at that moment. I was like, yes, it's happening. It's happening. And it didn't happen, but it gave me something interesting.
Wait, do you think, okay, wait, let's play off that theory. Let's say when he does cross that line, the Blue Devil possession, let's say, or the curse comes into effect. Because it would make sense because his arm didn't catch on fire until he extended it outward. So if he extended it outward, did he cross that city line? And is that why his arm caught on fire? That's a pretty good way to look at it.
Yeah, I was thinking like, okay, maybe if he goes all the way across, he'll be completely engulfed in blue flames, and then, become the Blue Devil. So
And that's why he's trying to get Xanadu. Xanadu was like, you met her already, like the one that will kind of stop all this madness. So, is Abby Arcane his salvation? Is she the one that will allow him to leave the city without him taking this curse with him? You know what I mean? Like, that's a really cool way of looking at it. I never thought about it that way.
We'll find out episode 13 or whatever, 14.
Shut it, Mr. G.
Too soon.
You're not funny.
Yeah, that's the terrible thing. Is like, I'm watching this and then like episode 3, I was whatever, but like then I watched this episode and it just sucks thinking that like this is gonna go away. Like, it's on its last lifeline and we're eventually gonna have to pull the plug and it's gonna suck.
Look at Taken with a freaking like eel coming out of her mouth as he's like, I don't want to have a moment to talk serious. It's like,
okay. When I was watching this, I totally saw it coming. I was like, she's gonna spew something out of her mouth at some point in the next 5 seconds, and it happened. I'm just saying, like, I have this sixth sense when it comes to these scary movies and scary TV shows.
I was gonna say I'm usually the one that hates like corn. That's why I was like in the parking lot. I was like, it's a little cringy that she beat up everybody. But for some reason, I don't know, it's because I'm mesmerized. When he was driving his blue muscle car with was like Motley Crue, singing about the devil going down the road, for some reason I was smiling, even though that's pretty corny. He's like driving a blue muscle car, listening to 80s hair rock, talking about the devil, and I'm like smiling to figure out what's about to happen. And that's just like, it's just one of those moments where it is pretty funny. Like, even the parts that are kind of corny, it still makes me smile.
Yeah.
I played. You know how corny it, like how like it was so easy to see it coming because I was watching it the first time, and then I just saw the car like driving, and I wasn't really paying attention to the song, and then I was like, wait, there's no reason they made this song so audible for me without there being like something. So like I rewinded and played the scene again, and I was like, wow. Wow. Saw that coming a mile away.
Oh man, Barbarian
Anything
Kung.
else, guys?
Yeah, Barbarian Kung Fu brings up a point. Like, Abby was not phased.
No.
Okay, well, for one, she walks into the house. Madame Sunderland or whatever is actually letting her in the house, and then Abby hears the music or hears singing. Not music.
Yeah.
She hears creepy little girl singing happening. That is like horror movie 101. You don't go towards that. But
she was singing 80s pop.
Yeah, but
but in that creepy little girl way, though. Not in
exactly.
I got it on my headphones.
She's like 9 years old singing 80s pop. How does that make sense?
Hey,
So, first off, she a little girl singing a song that's not her decade. First off, she's singing a song that Abby knows and that's close to Abby. First off, why you walking up there to the creepy sounding girl? I'm not even done with the first point yet. She goes up there and she sees this girl acting out of character. Like, I kid you not, I could see the ooga boogas in her eyes, and she still remains in there talking with her. At first, I was just like, don't make Abby out to be a typical white girl in a scary movie. Like, just don't do it. But you know what? She stayed in there because she has the stones to be in front of that. Like, she is badass Abby for a reason. Like, she literally, even when she saw the demon possessed Shauna, whatever, she still was just not even freaking out. And I was like, holy crap, like, how is she not? I don't know. She's just that ice cold. I like Abby. Like, she won me from episode 1. I'm still on team Abby. I don't like Matt for Abby. I still want her to end up with Alec, even though she only knew him for like a day.
Yeah, it's a little weird still.
Yeah. But hey,
we got all that history the other way.
This is Mr. G's like holy argument. This is what he holds on to.
I'm holding on to it because they're too close. We know each other 15 minutes.
For like 12 hours.
It's like there was that one movie that made fun of speed. You remember Speed and you couldn't go below 50 miles an hour? they're like, oh, you can't meet somebody. You learn in a moment of crisis. They had the thing in the hospital where the monster tried to get them, and that's it. That's their entire relationship. And she's like swooning over him ever since. Like, oh, I remember that time we almost got killed in the hospital, and he got that piece of glass out of my hair. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, what does Matt have? Matt, all she remembers about Matt is how much of a chump he was to never ask her out on a date when they were in high school. And then she comes back into town.
Yeah, but look at him now. He's tall, good looking, drink of water. Like, no, he's important. He's like the sheriff's baby. Like, he's got, he knows people.
Yeah, but
Mr. G's got a hard on for Matt.
It just makes more sense.
That's why. Now we know.
We know your type.
I'm not 2-0. You know that.
Like,
hey, I would say though, they did a really good
anyone
job.
that looks similar to Kali, I'm down. Like that's your thing right now.
Oh look, here's the part we didn't talk about right there behind you. How mom, without much.
Oh, holy shit! Yeah, I totally forgot about this scene. with the guy they killed off the guy with the best name in the entire show, man. Rene Dubois.
Dubois. It was Remy, right? Remy.
Yo,
Remy.
This part right here was nuts. The newspaper.
Yeah. She just takes a piece of paper, blast in the face.
See, when she did that, the one thing I could think about is, okay, she had a past relationship with Avery Sunderland. Number two, not only did she pop this guy with no hesitation 4 times in the chest, she knew to put a newspaper on top of the
That's
gun
what I'm saying.
and then pop him in the head to cover the blood splatter on her clothes. That's a pro move, my friend. That's amateur.
That ain't her first body. No, that's not her first body.
Is up to something, bro. She was with Sunderland before. You know she's up to no good.
Oh yeah, dude. They definitely killed and buried a body at some point in their little.
Where's her body cam? Man. I want to know why her body cam is turned off.
Something's up, man.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Rene Dubois, he got it.
But I was gonna say, I thought the show still does pretty good because they could have went kind of corny with the ghost. Not to go back to real quick, but I just want to point out the part that would have creeped me out because that little girl ain't mine. If it was one of my 3 beautiful children, I would go to the bathroom and look for the ghost or whatever. But when I went back into that room, because they did a good job of all the classic, they're gonna jump out behind you in the closet, and then none of it was there. Then she goes in the room, and all they did was make the bed up. I would have seriously, you would have saw me. I'm a big fella. You would have saw how fast I can make it down the stairs. If I came in that room, and the bed, I would have cared. I would have called the police and said somewhere upstairs there's a little girl. I don't know what happened to her, but the bed was made, and she was in the bed. And now she's out of the bed. The bed's made. Like I would have ran. Like, and she's like, "Where'd she go?" Like, no, look underneath the bed. Nope. I would have been right with him. Ooga boogas, whatever. I would have been out the door, down the stairs. And she was. That was really good job. I think that was a really creepy job they did with that.
Oh yeah, when she
the cops, they're calling him back up and they're putting you in a padded room.
no, bro, I would have been there with you. Like as soon as if I would have walked back in the room, the lights are off, the bed's made. I'd have been like, I need a moment of prayer. We need to all bow our heads. We just need to ask the Lord, please touch this room, Father God. Touch this room, Lord. Please just bring a spirit of light into this darkness, Father God. This little creepy girl, she needs Jesus. Like it was just that was too much for me. And little Susie was telling her like, no, don't go anywhere. And she still left. I'm like, nothing in that scene told me that, oh, she's just a scared little girl that's afraid of what's in the closet. Like, no, she needs help. Like she's seen some things, she's been through some things. Stay with this little girl. But hey, what are you supposed to do?
Coolest scene visually for me was when, I mean, it's coming up, but when Swamp Thing carries Maria Sunderland out of the water. Like you see the bubbles in the distance, and then he comes out carrying her. Now, here's the thing. This is the first time we've seen him do that. Secondly, this is also, it kind of made it look like the promo poster for this show. And if you've seen the promo poster, the thing he's carrying is a dead person. Like it's pretty much rotted out. So like I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think the weird thing is, are they aiming this to be like, we're not going to see a Floronic Man, and we're not going to deal with any of that, and Swamp Thing is just going to be beating up on Shauna this entire season?
Oh man, I'd kind of be okay with that. I mean, not. I want it. We're gonna see. We have to see Floronic Man with all their setting up, but I would like to see a demonized or whatever possessed ghosty Shauna come up and give Swamp Thing a little run for his money. I want to see more of his action side. Is what I'm.
Well, there's a reason why they picked like to go back by 3, because they had already shot him. So I think that like by 10, they're gonna finish up at least telling the story of whatever's happening with the swamp and taking people in and whatever the darkness is. And I think anything they were going to like introduce to get you ready for like season 2, I think they're gonna axe out. That's why I was thinking that like Blue Devil, you might not see it all. You might not see what is going to happen with the scientists. I think there's a reason why they decided not to show you those 3 episodes, because I think those are the 3 episodes setting up for next season, and that's why they axed those. Yeah, I don't want it to be as much as I'm giving you guys crap. I'd rather see all that, but I think that's why they did it. I think we're gonna miss out on some of that stuff you guys are looking for.
Yeah, I just Mr. G, I'm not gonna lie, I just blocked out everything you said about this show. They're not giving us what I'm wanting, because they're gonna give me what I want. I don't want to hear this negativity. Like, it is coming. They're gonna give us what we need.
He's coming to Anaheim next week. Me and Khalid are gonna drive to WB, and we're gonna burn that mother to the floor. Okay?
Hold on. Don't say that on live internet. I ain't a part of that. They ain't locking me up. Time out. I ain't trying to commit no crimes now.
Don't worry.
But I will have some strong words for these producers and these execs.
No, don't worry.
I plan on penning a strong worded letter. I'm not burning nothing to the ground.
Time out. Don't throw me in that one. I ain't trying. I can't do jail. I'm too pretty to go to jail.
I'll vouch for you. Don't worry, officer. He's my friend. He's just really tan.
Oh, I'm sure that's it. Yeah.
Sure
that's all it needed.
That works. That's all I need right there. Can I say my favorite scene came at the very end when Miss Sutherland is in the hospital and she is hitting Avery with the strongest resting bitch face I've ever seen. Like, she is just hitting him with that side eye. Like, I know you see me in this hospital bed and you're out there doing shady deals and stuff. And I was just like, dang, she is mad right now. It was.
Well, are we gonna see that conflict? Because now Woodrow knows that there's a living being. He just asked Sunderland for information for someone that can hunt it because he wants to study it. Also, he's a man who's cheating on his wife. But then the wife that he was so concerned about came into the hospital. Where's my goddamn wife? She's in this hospital. That wife is sitting there, and she wouldn't be sitting there if it wasn't for that creature that he created. So, like, there's a very tangled web of, like, conflict that's going to be going on. And we only got 5 episodes, man. I really hope they don't steer away from, like, the true action that we're waiting to see of Swamp Thing. And really, really, really stick to like the political story plot points. Like, they need to have a perfect mix of both. Yeah. So I hope we don't just get one and not the other.
Yeah.
I know it's for like drama, but after the guy finally left, the scientist, he had said, yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow. And then he would talk more. Yeah, we'll talk. After he left, though, the fact that he just stood there and stared at her like he didn't know what to do next. No, you need to run in there. Oh, sorry. There's been a breakthrough, or and instead he just stood there and stared at her. It's gonna get it worse now. Like, I was like, well, go in there. Don't just stand there and stare at her. Go.
Yeah. So I really don't know how much Swamp Thing has to worry about whoever they got to hunt him, because we already see what the people that Avery hires can do. I mean, he probably wrote on that piece of paper, hey, go find this guy. He'll take care of it. It's the dude with the crowbar.
Hey, also, we don't forget when she shot old, I don't know, the hillbilly swamp guy. I don't remember his name. Dubois or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
What he was dropping the dime on who shot or who he saw shot the dude in the boat, and then he was in Avery's boat. Like he dropped, unless he was making it up, like he was dropping the story right there.
I was curious about that because was he suggesting that Matt was in on that?
That's what it sounds like.
Have we seen it at any point in this that's true? Like, have we seen any motive by Matt, or like I don't remember. I don't remember that.
Not really, unless the whole thing is kind of like he didn't know Abby was gonna come and go against Sunderland so heavy, and he has like this old love for Abby. But like from what we've seen with his mom and Avery's relationship, how do we not know that his mom wasn't like, hey, my son will do some work for you on the back end, just hook him up with some cash? You know, like it's a small town. You got to look for money-making opportunities, I would hope. But like, how do we know that Matt isn't doing like some dirty deeds for Sunderland just for like a little extra cash on the side?
Or
you know what I mean? Like
where's Matt?
Don't know that.
Like he might just look at Avery. Maybe his dad's never there, and he could look at Avery as his dad. He could be like, we might find out that he looks at him like a dad figure, and dad needed me to go. This dad kind of figure
needed
me to go handle it.
Great point.
Because you don't know, we don't know his dad. Isn't it clearly those two are really close, like the mom and him. So I mean, he could have, or he could just be crazy. I don't think that would work because you guys have said to me, I think it was you and Parker, that guy is a character in the books, right, Matt? Like that's a character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he wouldn't be like some crazy, creepy, jealous boyfriend who's going around popping the guys she's hitting on. So I think it would have to be a little bit more than that. Like maybe he's naive and thinks that Credit wins like
We had another jealous Swamp Thing moment in this one when he stepped back and then Matt came while Maria was on the floor.
I forgot about that.
And he put his arm around her and was like, "It's okay."
There it comes right there. Look,
here it is
behind you. Tree was like, "This motherfucker right here."
Yeah, there it goes right there. DC's gonna take us off the air, but there it goes. I'll put it on Tank.
There you go.
There it is. There's that face.
Oh man, I still ship Abby and Swamp Thing. I don't care much for her to be with Matt. Well, he had his opportunities back in the day. He needs to move over, like go find a nice person. Get with Liz. Oh, Liz is a lesbian. Anyway, he can find somebody else.
Well, we don't know that. Stop labeling people. You don't know that.
She has a girlfriend.
She might like both. She's kind of too attractive to me. I don't want her to be just straight. Like I need hope.
Liz is hot.
Yeah, I need hope that she's more than just lesbian. I need her.
You need to have.
Yeah, I gotta have that. I gotta have that little flimmer of hope.
Yeah, Liz is super hot. But like, Khalid, you're a reader of the books just like I am. So like, you know where this story would have gone if they had the right amount of time. Like you know what the Matt relationship would have been like, and you know how they would have ended up. But like, I don't even think they're going to play into any sort of relationship with just 10 episodes.
No, I don't think they will. I mean, I know we've talked about it in past reviews, but I really, really want them to continue the show in some way. It is so good. And this episode made a big statement for me. Like, I think Swamp Thing is the best live action DC TV show that they've produced. I mean, whether it's CW, I haven't watched Gotham. I've heard a lot of good things about Gotham, but I've also heard some critiques. You know, from CW shows to anything they put on their live streaming service. I just started watching Krypton, and I really like that, but this is still just better. I mean, I like how well done it is. I like the production value. I like the storyline. I like the way it makes me feel when I watch it. So it's
yeah. I don't think there's a show that has hit on every note they were trying to hit like this one. I mean, Titans was great, but then again, Titans was on for a while longer than this one, obviously. So it did have the time for it to like dip and come back up and dip and come back up. Doom Patrol was for the special interest watcher. Not everybody can watch it and enjoy it. I love the hell out of the show.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought it was weird. It was goofy. It was great. It was totally different. Titans, great show. Krypton, I just started watching too, and I really like that show as well.
Okay, good. I haven't ever watched it. I didn't know if it was any good.
But all these shows, like, there's always one thing that kind of like you're like, not that great, or they could have done something better. But I mean, not to sound biased or anything, I'm not. I would have told you if there was a show better than this one. But like DC Universe wise, this one hit on casting, it hit on acting, it hit on theme, it hit on horror, it hit on the scares, it hit on the sci-fi stuff, it hit on the suit, it hit on the darkness. Like, it's hit on every aspect that you would expect a Swamp Thing show to hit on. And they've done such a awesome job, and it sucks that out of all the shows that they had, this is the one that we're going to get the least of. It's terrible.
Yeah.
At the same time, I know it goes all about money, and we don't have any of it, or we could start our own streaming service. But if you, like you were saying, if you look at it, I mean, to me, like, the least enjoyable show out of the three were the Titans, and I'm not saying that because I don't like Titans. I actually really did like it, because Doom Patrol to me was so out there. There's nothing like that on television. Even if it's like corny, just watch it for like 3 or 4 episodes, and then you'll see like they're not taking that seriously at all. They're making it as corny as possible. I mean, they had the dude, the Flexo guy, who flexed the wrong muscle, and everybody had an orgasm, including the street. So I mean, come on, like,
dude, he was so hot.
that was so ridiculous. And then you have this one. It's like all 3 of those shows hit. Like, I don't know about how much money they cost and if they made any money on it, but just because they're trying to like go with the Joneses and get a streaming service, they want to encompass everything. You're not going to compete with Disney anyway. So why not just let this go? And they have 3 hits in a row, and you're not marketing it or anything. Like, I don't hardly ever see any marketing for the DC network. They're just kind of like letting it go. And I think I feel like I should just get somebody down and be like, look, this is working. Why screw with it? Because you're not going to you would never ever put Doom Patrol on the CW streaming service. That ain't going to happen.
No.
And I mean, they had like nudity in that one, for God's sakes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was like the first episode, first scene, you see Cliff just railing his nanny. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, you can't take something like that to CW. You can't take something like this to CW and make it the quality. It doesn't need to be on network TV. It needs to have its home on the streaming service where it can, be what it was intended to be. So I really love this episode. If I have to rate it, I know you didn't ask for that, but I would have to give it.
I was going to.
Okay, well, I'd have to give it an 8.5. Like, I don't want to be, too generous and give it a 10, but I would definitely say 8.5, and I loved it from the beginning. I liked the characters, how they developed more. I liked where the story was going. It made me super excited for the next episode. I still think that the most interesting story line in all of it is Blue Devil. Like, I'm really excited to see where, Danny comes in and when he becomes Blue Devil.
Yeah, I would say the I would say in this world, like, if you already have, like, take out complaints about certain actors, take out complaints of some corny lines here and there. If you just go by this world, I would say it's 8.5 or 9, absolutely, because you can always knock it because you don't like this particular actor. But if you're going to get past that and say that actor is going to be there no matter what, I'd say 8.5, 9. It was a really good episode. I mean, I watched it once. I watched it halfway through, and then right before we came on, because we got home a little early today, I watched it again. Like, and it was because I wanted to watch it, not because I was boning up for the show. Like, I really wanted to watch it again. And I haven't with any of the rest of them.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think this is going to get our highest rating so far. So episode 5 is getting a 9 from me. I thought it hit on everything I was looking for. And like you said, I usually watch it twice. I usually watch it on Friday as soon as it drops. And then I watch it once before we do this show just to, like, get my thoughts going and know what I want to talk about. I've watched this episode 4 to 5 times already. I watched it once today. I watched it throughout the weekend. I watched it when I was just laying in bed and I didn't know what to watch. I was watching that. I just really liked it, and it obviously helps to come up with talking points. So I'm definitely going to give this one a 9. I thought they did an incredible job so far, and I hope they just keep topping it. I hope it stays consistent. I really like everything they're doing. I like the Blue Devil storyline that hopefully we get some answers from. I really like that they introduced the green, so finally now with Swamp Thing we can get some more depth. I'm really hoping to see a little more of like the whole Sunderland fiasco going on, and I really hope we get to see a little more Shauna, Susie, like figure that out with Xanadu opening the gates of all hell into Marae. So I think at this point they gave us so much that I think with 5 more episodes we're gonna start getting some answers pretty soon. So we got an 8.5, we got an 8.5 to a 9, and we got a 9 from me. I think that's pretty solid. And I think that's it for today, right, Mr. G?
Yeah. So before we close, I was gonna say, you have anything Oblivion Bar have anything going on the next couple of days you want to shout out?
Yeah, so we actually just changed our main Wednesday episode that usually comes out Wednesdays at 2:30. We changed that to Thursdays at 2:30. So this Thursday on the 4th of July, we're having like an Independence Day special, and we're covering Freedom Fighters, the new run by Robert Venditti. And I'm telling you, this book has got to be one of the most underrated books on the shelf right now. It is
I agree.
So good. It is like just start reading the first issue and you're going to want to read all 6 that are out. So it's going to be a 12-issue maxi series, but we just thought it was appropriate to cover it for 4th of July. So,
all right, Tank, you got anything you want to? I know you got big things coming one day, but
yeah, I want to say first and foremost, thanks for the people that showed up in the chat. Thanks for the people that are going to watch this later, even. Thanks for coming, throwing your ideas in, and having us talk about them. Thanks for even giving us the screen time to talk about this show we're loving right now. Thanks for showing interest. Thank you guys for supporting us. Thanks, Mr. G, for hosting as usual.
Yes, thank you.
Oblivion for coming in with your insight. Obviously, I think we made an incredible decision on having you on every week. I think it's really evolved us as a show. Also, on Wednesdays now, I'm doing a show on Perry Comics' channel with him where we're discussing and reviewing the new comic books that come out that Wednesday. We're doing it on Wednesday afternoon, so go to Perry Comics' Instagram or his YouTube and go watch us, and he'll be promoting that, obviously. So we're going to be doing that every Wednesday now. So looking forward to that. And other than that, again, big thank you to everybody. And all our information will be in the description as usual. This was episode 5 of Into the Swamp. Episode 6 comes out on Friday as usual. And we will be back on next Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Okay, so I just have a few things. Tomorrow at 8:30 on this channel, I will be doing an unboxing with me, Barbarian, Kung Fu, and Kachung, and DT Comics, and however you say that, DK Comics and Cosplay. And we're all unboxing boxes that we got from a certain hairy fella who's in this room right now. And so, so you should come by and check that out. And then at Wednesday at 8, these times are Eastern times, by the way. Wednesday at 8 on this channel, I will be hosting a auction from Barbarian Kung Fu and Needmo Comics. They're doing $1 comics. This book goes up. It's $1. So come and try and check that out if you want to get some pretty good books for some cheap prices. And last thing is, just want to say shout out to Issues. I'm glad you're back around, and love you, brother. So
yeah, man, definitely. We love you. Also, for the auction thing, if you guys are looking for any books, DM me if you haven't already. I mean, I'm talking early ASM, early Incredible Hulk, Amazing Spider-Man 361 if you're looking. First appearance of Doctor Strange. I know, Mr. Garrell, you're
Jesus.
Up, but Strange Tales 110. I got Tales to Astonish. I got early Ghost Rider runs, early Superman 12 centers. Whatever you guys need, go ahead and contact me. I'm still selling this huge collection, and I'll get you guys great prices on those. So I'm still available for those. Go ahead and DM me on Instagram.
Nobody asked about that Doctor Strange. Maybe he'll give me. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us.
All right.
Peace.